The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah, go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, and Newy Scruggs.
Here we are, everybody. It's a Tuesday. The Dallas Cowboys have cut their roster. You got to get to 53 across the National Football League. Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos. Barry Church, Danny McCray, Newy Scruggs. 45 minutes of Cowboy football. Okay.
How your pockets feel today, Newy?
I just want you to go ahead.
What's the word? Go ahead.
Give me that. Give me the money that you have reserved for your golf.
What you talking about? Oh yeah,
pull it right out your pocket.
Yeah, I got a little something for y'all.
Right,
man.
right. Because Boss Man Fat,
he's on the
team.
squad. He's on the squad.
So Barry Church lost his bet. He thought they were going to cut the second round pick, Boss Man Fat.
Because arguably he's what, the sixth best corner?
We're not arguing.
I thought he was out of there,
man. Only thing we arguing is that he is not on this wave.
You right. Y'all right. He is not on this list. He's not on this list.
Just as I learned in my business law class, we need to talk about the specifics of the case.
You're right.
The case wasn't about whether or not he was good. The case was would he be on the team.
And we operated in good faith.
I'm good for it. I'm
operated in good faith. Okay,
you got a check right there too.
Yeah.
Man is sitting here with a check.
I don't know where that's from.
I know there's enough money to pay this bet off. $20 for him, $20 for me.
Interest rates rising,
Yeah.
Cooper Rush has been cut. The Cowboys do not have a backup quarterback. They cut Cooper Rush and they cut Will Grier. We knew Ben DiNucci was getting cut.
Yeah, he's
So they decided to go with one quarterback now on the roster. We already know that they're going to make the call to say, all right, Cooper, come on back. Will Grier, come back. There's talk about Will Grier going on the practice squad. So how does that bet go? By the way, because
he's cut.
No.
He's cut.
Who is going to be the back? You said that Will Grier was going to beat out Cooper Rush for the backup quarterback.
And they both got cut.
There will be a backup quarterback.
We don't know
who
it's going to be. We don't know yet.
Oh, yeah, but we will.
We're going eventually we will. Eventually we will.
And if Newy is correct in what he's reading and hearing about Will Grier being on the practice squad.
Is Newy Will McClay?
No, he's not.
Hell no, yet. So, we don't know yet.
No. Listen, hey, we'll wait because we want our 40 apiece at the same time.
Look, I'm going to tell you this.
Don't put nothing on it. I want the whole shebang.
Let me give you an appetizer. All right, let me give you an appetizer.
I want your golf money.
Money
that you reserved that he's golf bets you lose.
Right,
you just go ahead and bring it our way.
It's all going to circle back one of these days.
But yeah, Cooper Rush, goodness gracious. Like as you look at the list, you're looking at it, like you said, the whole roster manipulation thing. That's the quote of the day today. And I see some names on here, and I'm just like, as a special teams guy, it kind of upsets me a little bit that CJ Goodwin has to be that, like, take one for the team guy, and then we're going to take care of you later again. Right?
Yeah.
Maher? Who else is on here?
They got a long snapper, Jake.
You brought Maher in.
So your kicker's been cut. Your long snapper's been cut.
The whole process is gone.
Now they did this last year with Jake McQuaid. We're bringing you back. You know your fossils guy. So I mean that's the interesting conversation. And I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with that or had anybody else that you played with dealt with it, where the teams, hey, we gotta let you go, but we want you.
Nah, I ain't never been let go, but I was told that I was coming back. Hey, nah, man, we ain't worried about you, man. I remember it was my last season. I was in the meeting with Jason Garrett. We all have our end of the year meetings. Each player goes in and talks to the head coach before, like after the season is over with, right? So I go in. Jason Garrett had gave us all journals. He was like, I want you guys to, open up these journals. And you remember they had our names on there and stuff? Yeah. And I went in, and he was kind of explaining what the journal thing was, with like how you want to get better right now, like what you need, blah. He always got like listen. A lot of good businessmen say, hey, you should write down whatever. Like when you wake up in the morning, write your goals down, and you see them when you wake up in the morning. Anyways,
how does goals work out as a coach? How does goals work out?
Man, see,
he got 10 years. I mean, that's pretty good.
He got 10 years. But I walk in, whatever. Jason Garrett says, hey man, we like the journal stuff is not really for you. It's really for the young guys. We're not really worried about you. We just get the old guys in here, get you back in here, and make sure that that you look out for the young guys and get them headed on the right path. I'm like, yeah. So I go call our financial advisor, me and Church there, and I'm like, yeah, JG told me I'm good, man. I'm all right. Man, March rolled around, not a phone call. April rolled around, and the special teams coach called me and was like, man, they ain't called you yet?
This was 16, right?
Yeah, 16.
Yeah.
I'm like, you didn't know? At that moment, I was like, yeah, it's done. I'm done. I know they're not picking me back up, and that was the last time that I got a phone call from an NFL coach.
Where's your journal? Where's that journal?
In the trash, probably.
So like how? Because I don't know how if I was CJ Goodwin, the top special teams guy, I don't know how I feel about this because it's the second year in a row where they're like, oh yeah, we'll bring you back. We're gonna cut you, but we'll bring you back. Would you go out there and say, I'm gonna go see what other teams was talking about? Let me go see what other teams want to value me and bring me over there, rather than being cut and bring back and cut. Because then once you're cut as a vet, your salary's not guaranteed anymore. Am I correct with saying that? Yeah. So your salary, so they can cut them at any time without any repercussions.
So let me ask this, just following up on what you said: if you go somewhere else, would they guarantee your contract at this point? Or being a special teams guy, would you be in the same situation where it was going to be a week-to-week deal?
Well, if somebody's going to offer you a real deal, because they couldn't offer him a real deal while he's on the Cowboys roster, but if somebody's been looking at a CJ and say, hey, man, we want to give you a 2-year or 3-year, whatever, making $900,000 a year, you have to entertain that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to entertain that because there's no guarantee with the way that he's been released and picked back up here that he's going to be here for the next 3 years. So, yeah, if somebody really wants a CJ and it is he deserves it. He's a really good special teams player. Okay. We still had him as MVP of the defense the year when Nolan was here. If somebody wants to offer him a multi-year deal, absolutely, you have to entertain that.
You got to, because you see what they're valuing, here. I mean, you're basically, one of the, 50 to 53. You're on that bubble somewhere, and you're going to continue to be on that bubble. So I'd entertain it.
Let me follow that up. You're CJ Goodwin. You've been here with the Cowboys, living in Dallas-Fort Worth here for a number of years now. If you go someplace else, and I don't know if he owns his home here or not, but you'd have to leave here, relocate somewhere else, find an apartment. If you go someplace like L.A. or New York, you're taxed at a whole different rate. I mean, so how much does that go into this when you get cut this late for guys if you have options versus not having it? I mean, I get it if I need a job, you're going to take the job you get. But if you have options like CJ,
well, that's why only a multi-year deal would be something that you would entertain. If you telling me you're going to pick me up for the same thing the Cowboys are going to offer, which is bringing you back for a 1-year stint, then you don't uproot your family and go look for a place to stay just based off that. But if you are getting a deal for 2 years, 3 years, then I mean that's part of the process. That's part of being an NFL player. Yeah, if my contract says that I need to live in this place and I'm guaranteed, 2 to 3 years, yes, take your family. You got your 2 or 3 years, and then when you're done, you can go wherever you want to go. Yeah. But it's about making what you can while you're in the league. Make as much as you can now, because when it's over, it's over.
Yeah, there's not too many jobs out there where you're just going to come around making $900,000 to millions of dollars each and every year. So to me, it all just comes down to the guarantees. Like, go ahead. CP.
By the way, his salary this year is 1.9.
That's a nice salary right there.
He got cut.
No, so they ain't going to be same one.
When they bring him back, they gonna give him 1.9.
Well, he had a $400,000 signing bonus this year for this contract, and 1.5 was his salary. So I'm assuming that his salary is going to be the same.
If you pay me 1.5, I'm back because they honored the whole contract.
Yeah, 1.5.
But
so I'm assuming that's what they're going to do.
We hope so. But I still don't like him getting released.
I'll say it's not guaranteed because
it's guaranteed the first week of the season, not if you get cut the final cut. Barry.
So if he's back,
if he's on the roster the first week of the season, which he'll probably be on the roster tomorrow, his salary is guaranteed for the whole year.
Okay, so it'd be guaranteed for the whole year. All
yeah,
right.
That's
they do that then.
That stuff they did. I forgot. Was it Adrian Peterson that year that Washington did that too? Where they cut him,
brought him back the second week or something like that.
Yeah, it's the second week. Brought him back the second week.
So it would be guaranteed.
Yeah.
Calvin Watkins of the Dallas Morning News tweeted out, a person with knowledge of the situation said the Cowboys want to bring Will Grier back to the practice squad.
Dang, Willie G, man.
Source close to the Cowboys.
They say that. We all heard about the sources now. So listen, we know all about these sources.
Hey, man, all I know is...
What does the source say about Cooper Rush?
Yeah, what does it say about Cooper?
The Cooper's coming back.
That's the same
source?
To
the practice squad?
No.
We only got one quarterback.
Until that source says, my name is Will McClay. I ain't listening to
Well, as soon as you see him back on the roster, I want you to have my crispy $20.
If I see him back, but then I see somebody else in front of him, that's a wash.
What happens if they both come back on the practice squad?
Oh, then it's wash.
not going to happen.
Yeah,
Who's going to be the backup quarterback?
They're going to bring somebody in.
Well, here's the deal. The way the NFL works nowadays, you can bring up a guy from the practice squad every week 3 times.
And we ain't talking about no week 3, 4 down the line.
No,
if it ain't,
what I'm saying
who's going to be the
like,
backup quarterback week 1
right?
is what we're
that's what
talking
I'm
about.
saying, yeah. Now,
Yes.
if it passed
Explain
week 1, and then all of a sudden Cooper Rush becomes the backup quarterback week 2, no, the bet's off.
No, but who's going to be the backup quarterback week 1
They
then?
might bring somebody in. Who
Who
knows?
That's bring my money. I need my money, Jake.
With the unsolved offensive line, you do need a backup quarterback.
You do.
Okay?
You do.
Okay? You do need a backup.
And we'll see if it's cool.
Backup
I
quarterback.
can't wait.
So,
That's another bet won by Danny McCray over Barry
This
Church.
money's going to
And now
be
I'm
in the
bringing
air
new
for
in.
like a couple weeks.
Yeah,
It sounds
yeah,
like.
it's they got a week.
No. Half the money's in the air.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Y'all
Boss
got that
Man
first
Fat
one.
made the team,
Y'all got
so
the
you
first
already
one.
lost that.
Yeah,
So
y'all got
the
that.
second part,
Y'all got that.
we could play with it, but it should be
Ain't no
solved.
playing with it. If he ain't on the back, if he ain't the
Next
backup
week.
by Tampa, it's a wrap.
You know what? McCarthy's supposed to be talking tomorrow. I'm going to get up
Get
in
him
here
on
and
the
ask
head.
questions.
Hey, who's the backup?
Who's backup, Mike? So we're going to get that solved real quick.
Let Kool-Aid Mike tell you. You know
We'll get
what I'm
that
saying?
real quick. Other cuts, Avante Collins from TCU, the tackle's gone. Safety Tyler Coyle's gone. Running back Malik Davis.
That's a surprise for me.
I'm not surprised, but I liked what he did, and here's the guy that I could see being, a practice squad player for sure. Wide receiver Dontario Drummond was cut. Obviously, we talked about C.J. Goodwin gone. Story Jackson's been cut. Malik Jefferson, the former Longhorn, he's gone. Guard Braylon Jones is gone. Alec Lindstrom, the center, is gone. There could be another player that I could see on the practice squad here. Sean McEwen, number 84, from Michigan, veteran tight end, cut. That one did make me say,
They must like what they see.
because you knew Jake Ferguson from
Fourth
Wisconsin
rounder,
was making the team. Peyton Hendershot from Indiana. I had a conversation after a practice with Lunda Wells earlier before they played a preseason game, because he was one of the guys I was watching going into camp because I was just doing my research, and I saw how he had basically the same kind of stat line that Ferguson had. Hendershot went over to Indiana, and Ferguson to Wisconsin. So kind of Big Ten guys, kind of figuring, how people are. They're like, hey, this guy reminds me of this guy. We get him as a free agent. Let's see. And Lunda had good things to say about him, and then he ended up missing one practice. Can't remember what it was, but he came back. But he balled in the preseason games. So Sean McEwen's gone, and Dalton Schultz. This may be it. Because if they like these two guys here, it's going to be a lot cheaper. You don't have to pay almost $11 million to have these two guys as your tight ends next year.
Yeah, and what I've been saying, Dalton Schultz, I mean, he's a fabulous tight end, excellent tight end, but is he dynamic enough? I just, he'll get you those, security blanket, catch here, 10 yards, get a little after the catch, but can you split him out and let him beat, corners out there? I just don't see him being as dynamic as a Njoku, as a Kittle, as a Kelsey out there. So, not to be, mean or anything, but I think you can find Schultz in the draft anywhere. And it looks like they found him with these two guys.
So would you feel the same way about Schultz if at the end of the season my man has 100 catches, 1,000 yards?
No, I mean then he's putting. I mean,
what's my record?
Even if it's not him split out, doing the type of stuff that Kelsey does. Yeah. If he can consistently be that Jason Witten type of safety blanket guy, and we saw him get hella targets last season, and you can only imagine with CeeDee Lamb really being the only truly proven guy on there, that Dalton Schultz is going to have a huge role coming up in this offense. So I can see him. We may not believe that he can line up outside one-on-one. We haven't seen it, but I can see them testing that and seeing if he's able to do that, line up in the slot, flex out a little bit far away from the tackle, and treat it like 11 and see if he's treat him like a receiver.
If he does that, if he's able to put those numbers up with CeeDee Lamb being the only, the big dog out there, then for sure I'd do that. Because last year I felt like he benefited from having Cooper on one side, a healthy Michael Gallup on the other side, CeeDee Lamb running over there as well. So the defense really wasn't focused on his talents out there. But if he can still put those numbers up, being the for sure number 2, then hey, I mean, he definitely he's warranted.
Think about this: you line up in 12 personnel, flex him out, and treat it like 11, but he's the receiver, and they're able to wreak havoc on defenses like that because he's able to really
get over. Defenses would have to be in that base though.
Huh?
You don't think defenses will come out?
Yeah, but and then that's where you can run the ball, right? So you have
running the football.
I'm just saying though, if he's able to be that type of versatile guy, then I think you have an option to keep him and actually pay him, but. Kellen's going to have to really get creative and show that he's that type of dynamic player. If not, then, like you said, it may be one of those guys where you can find what you may have on your roster already.
Yeah, I agree.
Carlos Watkins, defensive tackle, cut. And that's just where the depth of this football team got Carlos Watkins. And props to Tristan Hill.
Yeah.
Tristan Hill came in this camp. A lot of people pretty much had him on the outs coming into this camp. He earned his spot. Good for Tristan Hill. Okay,
the enforcer.
Let's give Tristan Hill credit for going out here and earning his spot. Reserve NFI is Damone Clark, the linebacker, number 33, and then the wave injured Aaron Shipkin, the running back, and then cornerback Isaac Taylor Stewart. So they're wave/injured. So the full. That's a part of not all the names. We gave you a good chunk of the names right there here on the Players Lounge of guys who have been cut from the Dallas Cowboys. And something that I don't think, to me, all right, this is where I want to give Will McClay and the Cowboys scouts a lot of credit. You don't see any major draft picks here that they had to say, we're going to release. I looked up today on the waiver. I saw O.J. Howard got cut.
Yeah.
He was drafted like top 15 by Tampa after that great run he had the national championship game. Didn't work out. They signed with the Bills. Super Bowl contender. They cut him.
Couldn't beat him out.
Now check this thing out for the Raiders. When you look at the Raiders' first-round picks from 2019 to 2021, you talk about John Gruden being awful. 2021, first-round pick, Alex Leatherwood, cut. 2020, first-round pick, Henry Ruggs, cut, in jail. 2020, first-round pick, Damon Arnett, cut. You're two first-rounders from one cut. 2019, Cleveland Farrell, fifth-year decline, top 10 pick. 2019, Josh Jacobs, fifth-year decline. And while he'll be on the team, we don't know what his role will be under Josh McDaniels. In 2019, first-round pick, Jonathan Abram, fifth-year decline. Folks, that's bad.
Yeah, they're getting rid of all the Gruden's guys.
Now, this is what really does kind of make me mad. Going back to our guy, Rich Bisaccia, who was here with the Cowboys special teams coach. When Gruden got run out last year, Bisaccia takes them to the playoffs. This is how bad your roster is. And Rich took them into the playoffs, and they almost, they took Cincinnati toe-to-toe. And you want to tell me all these job openings in the league and Rich Bisaccia wasn't good enough for one of them? What is this league doing?
Yeah. It's when they put you in the box, oh, he's a special teams coach. Like, it's hard to move up the ladder like that.
This is going to sound okay. And you have coaches in the league who are just overseeing the operations, all right? So Rich Bisaccia does not need to know how to call offense, does not need to know how to call defense. He needs to be a leader of men.
Which you saw him do that.
And there is no better guy that I've been around that is a leader of men than Rich Bisaccia.
You would think so?
No reason. Like, you have no excuse not to have him on your team as a head coach.
I'm 100% with you on that one. Who was the only special teams? What, Joe Judge? He was a strictly special teams.
Harbaugh.
Oh, Harbaugh, Harbaugh as well.
Yeah,
Harbaugh.
Don't put him in there with Judge.
No, I ain't gonna put him in there with Judge.
Put him in there with Harbaugh.
And Harbaugh is one of the longest tenured coaches in the league, probably number 2 behind Belichick. He's won a Super Bowl. The Ravens compete year in, year out. And you talk about a guy who, from all accounts I can see, has good relationships with the players there.
Yeah.
So. And that's one thing. You guys were in that room with Rich. Rich had as a special teams coach, you have relationships with the entire team. Mm-hmm. The entire team. Kellen Moore doesn't have a relationship with the entire team.
No, I can't see
Dan Quinn either.
D-Law going to Kellen Moore. Hey man, let me sit down and talk. Let's have some lunch or something like that.
Not sitting next to him on the bus. None of that,
I can't see that happening with Moore.
So one thing I will definitely say, man, in my time covering the Cowboys, they've got a lot of good assistant coaches come through a lot of good assistant coaches, and Rich Bisaccia was definitely one of them. So anyway, I think Josh McDaniels can do well for the Raiders. So fine. Mark Davis, you wanted to move on from there. But you want to tell me all these other job openings were out there last year? You want to tell me Miami couldn't have used him? Miami could. Jacksonville could have used him.
Who they got? They got Peterson down there now.
You know, and look, Peterson's a Super Bowl winning head coach. But I'm sorry. I look around here, I just think, man, somebody's missing the boat on Rich Bisaccia as a leader of men who can get people to come together and mean what they say when they talk about family and integrity and being a man. That's just me. Man.
I'm with you on that one.
You ain't going to – the penalties, it's going to be a disciplined team.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a disciplined team. Penalties, clock management, all that stuff. He is going to be on top of it all. It's unfortunate that he, is up in Green Bay, but hopefully he gets another shot to show what he can do.
Okay, Players Lounge, brought to you by Tostitos. We are in the SWBC podcast studio here at the Star, the world headquarters of the Dallas Cowboys. Let's take our first break. When we come back, let us get into Tyler Smith, who Jerry Jones revealed something very interesting about the young man, the first-round pick out of Tulsa, today on his radio show on 105.3 The Fan. We'll do that next. Barry Church, Danny McCray, Newey Scruggs, Players Lounge on DallasCowboys.com radio.
I'm Jay Novacek, former tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. Back in the day, I was the guy who always got the tough yards, and that's why I run with John Deere today. In fact, I have a John Deere 3025E tractor that can handle any yard work I need to do, even the tough yards way out back. So if you have 1 acre or 1,000, John Deere has the equipment that's just right for you. Visit a John Deere dealer today and run with us. We are the official tractor provider of your Dallas Cowboys.
Essilor is a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, helping fans see more and do more with our best vision solutions. Our lens technologies reveal a world more beautiful than you can imagine. For a limited time, get the Essilor Next Gen offer. When you buy the latest generation of Transitions lenses with select Essilor lenses, you can choose a second pair of clear lenses for free with qualifying frame purchases. Restrictions apply. Find a participating eye care professional by visiting EssilorUSA.com. Essilor. See more, do more.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
Your new apartment's big. Such a great deal.
It's okay.
Just okay? What's not to...
Right above the subway!
Well, I bet you don't even notice it after the...
That's my neighbor, Angus.
A deal that's just okay is not okay. Get a great deal with America's Best Network. Come into an AT&T store to find out how to get one of our popular smartphones for $0 down, based on GWS One score September 2019.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Players Lounge, brought to you by Tostitos and Barry Church's pocketbook.
He was
brewing on that one.
He was quiet in the break.
He was over here talking. Usually he got insight on something. Now he's just gonna be quiet. Okay, I like what you did right there. Damn,
he left you hanging too. Can I get a
He's
trying to give you a pound.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry.
So win a couple Emmys.
Good.
I'm so excited.
He got 2 new trophies. He got 2 new trophies. He feels too good to give you a pound. Huh?
Hey, give Dallas Cowboys media.com a lot of credit too. They won a bunch of Emmys. Chris Beam, how many guys you were? 3? Was it 3 Emmys?
I saw 2. I don't know if it was 2 or 3.
Okay.
So I'll go back and look.
So
shout out.
His sticks ain't with him.
So the one on Drew Pearson, that documentary won.
That was good.
That was really good.
That was good.
Poor Jesse Holly. Jesse thought for sure. Isn't that right, Chris? And Jesse thought he was gonna get hit for sure.
Yeah.
But he got the Mind Games. Didn't he have? Was that the Mind Games?
No, that's this coming year.
The Hollywood.
Yeah. The Hollywood.
Yeah. So it was nominated. It was
nominated. It was nominated against the one that won.
Yeah, against Drew Pearson. So they picked.
He got a nomination.
Going in the Hall of Fame. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Jesse thought it was for sure. Jesse put a spot. I had a
the Emmys is very humbling.
Yes, I was like,
experience.
brother, your best work doesn't win. That's what you find out.
Yeah, that's true.
You do it enough times, you find your best work doesn't win, and never sit around here and count like, oh, this, that, we got that.
So how do you find out you win? Is it like this ceremony?
They have a show.
Or is it like like a show? Like you watching it on TV?
They had this year. They had a virtual show.
Okay.
So this year, like Isaiah ended up taping. He introduced at least 3 categories.
Okay. All right.
So Isaiah did that. So it was a virtual. It was Saturday at 6. It was a virtual ceremony.
So you ain't like in person. He about to get up and take the award.
I mean,
Drew Pearson.
before COVID, it was.
Before COVID, it was when they first started the sports chapter, they broke it off. It was over at Jerry World, and they honored Jerry. Jerry got a lifetime Emmy award over there. I think it was a year like Hellman had won, and Derek Eagles, and a bunch of folks, Amber, a bunch of people ended up winning some Emmys that year. So next year, so next July, they will have a live show.
Oh,
a live show. So
And
they had
a church documentary on there, right?
Put
CB
me on there.
Yeah, we need to do it. Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
Yeah. Church service, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
We got
That's
it.
what we're going to call it.
We have to go back to Toledo. We may have to give them some money to get into the door, apparently.
That's what we're going to call it.
Toledo not going to let them in to record.
Nah,
they pay your dues, bro.
You're who? Barry what? Let me look and see.
Actually,
no, you're not on the list.
They're going to see my plaque. You talking about Toledo, right? They're going to see that plaque.
Yeah.
Actually,
You don't even know what's
you
up.
should do is you should walk up there when Barry bring that check. Hey, I've been late on my dues.
And then I'm going to get it right back.
Right.
Get that right
So
back.
that's what you could do. So they had a virtual show, and so that's how they did it, and there you go.
There you go.
So I did not watch it.
Congratulations, Nui.
Thank you very much. I got out of school, so I didn't watch. I was driving home from school, and I was going to Central Market to get some stuff for the kids.
I mean, when you got so many Emmys already, I mean.
Because if it was me, I would have had that thing.
Nui, did you win?
You see me out here winning this. You know, when you got so many Emmys.
Let me tell you something, bro. I went 1 year to the Emmys, took the wife, like, hey, come on. I'm nominated for 5. I went 0 for 5. There ain't nothing more humbling than that. You think I'm going to walk out with at least 1? The Golden Sombrero, 0.
I mean, shit, we thought we was getting drafted.
Yeah, you ain't going to lie about that. I thought for sure. Once I saw some punters going in the 5th, I'm like, I got to come up now.
I felt like Sergio Kendall. Like,
He took a fall, didn't he?
He did. Down some steps.
So this is before the steps. So it was draft night. We went to Sergio's house. I was like, oh, he's gonna be a first round pick. So we go to Sergio's house, man. It's not happening. And so we got wind that Des Bryant might get drafted by the Cowboys.
No, y'all didn't. Y'all ain't do that man like that.
Yeah, we got to go.
Y'all ain't do that man like that, dude.
Hey, man, we're going to need to get that mic.
No, see that y'all could at least had a fake crew going there and stay there while y'all went to Des, man. No, that ain't right, man. That ain't right. Sergio over there.
We took
crying.
the lights down, took the mic off him, and drove as fast as we could over there to get to Des's house.
Oh man, that ain't.
My people had all y'all ties slashed.
What?
Hey,
Where
That man
you going?
scarred. He scarred that man. That ain't right. Man.
So Des gets drafted in the first round to the Cowboys. We've got it. Sergio didn't get drafted at all until
he went undrafted? Oh, no, he went to third,
till
right?
day 2.
Oh yeah.
Till day 2, and then we didn't even have the hard ass. We didn't even talk about coming back. Yeah, man. It was now I didn't have to do it because I was in studio, but Matt Berry, who's on ESPN Sports Center now, he was the one like, hey man, we're gonna need to get the mic back. We told we gotta go to Des's.
So
Oh, that's messed up, man. Hey, you know when you do that mic, he probably was over there. Get this off me right now. Damn.
I'm like, hey, bro, we're going to switch that out real quick. We
Yeah,
switch
hopefully
battery
they didn't
died.
say we're going
Battery
to
died.
Des real quick. Like,
So that's what happened. Hey man.
But by the way, what Nui's not telling you, I'm looking on the Lone Star Emmys Twitter account. Mm-hmm. The Emmy Award goes to Call Nui Scruggs Mr. Football with the win, huh?
Mm-hmm. You see that on Twitter?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, man.
See that.
That's the name of the entry. You have to name your entry.
Yeah,
Mr.
man,
Football.
So they tell you to come up with something.
Sports Anchor of the Year.
So they tell you to come
Let's
up with something.
go.
You know?
Hey, man.
Congratulations,
He's that
Nui.
guy, man. Who's that guy?
Mr. Football.
He believes in himself, man. He's that guy.
1 year, the title was
Mr. Baseball?
no, it was
It's already taken.
It was Weed, Cops, and Football 1 year. That was the name of the entry.
Weed, cops, and football.
And you won that one?
Yeah, won that one. So,
what you say? Don't trust you.
You really called it that?
Yeah. So, Chris, I know you like to go ahead and use ammunition on people. Just go in there and look at 2017, 2017, and 2011. Go look at those titles.
Hold on a second. Was that the one that you're outside of San Francisco?
That was 2011.
But that was 2011. Did you win that one?
Yeah, but that was a different one. But that was.
We need to get that soundbite on for a drop on our show.
That's a drop I've heard before a couple
Need
times.
that,
So.
man.
More importantly, Tyler Smith. Okay,
My man Tyler, baby.
I like Tyler Smith. Okay, this is a solid young man. Got all the right makeup. But Tyler Smith is being done a disservice, in my opinion. Jerry goes out on 105.3 The Fan this morning on Sean and RJ show and says he got a high ankle sprain. That's why he didn't play. And without saying it, he basically telling us that's who's going to be the left tackle when they face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on NBC Sunday Night Football for Game 1.
You got a fresh Ezekiel Elliott coming off that edge.
The entire time I was at training camp, I did not see him take any reps at left tackle. Now, I stopped camp. My camp tour ended after the first preseason game. Had 2 penalties in the game. I ended up, I didn't go to California. So I'm thinking to myself, you didn't have him spend any time at left tackle against Micah Parsons, against Tank Lawrence. You didn't have him up there practicing against Bradley Chubb in Denver at left tackle. You didn't have him with Bosa and Khalil Mack with the church. You didn't have this young man in the fire. You had him at guard. And now you want to throw him out there?
Throw him to the Wolves.
With a high ankle sprain?
And you better believe Ty Bowles going to be dialing it up. Everybody's coming to that side. Everybody. You were talking about games and stunts.
I just don't think that's just me. I don't think you're doing a man a service. Like, this is National Football League, baby.
They scrambling, man.
Now go ahead.
After last year, we know that this offensive line coaching staff is not about doing anybody a good service. It's about disservice. Because what they did to Terrence Steele last season was very similar to this. Okay? Get the man right after he had a rough year at tackle. Get him right. Put him in the game at right. And then switch him over to left and watch him struggle. All right? So we did speak about getting the best guys out there, the best 5 guys. All right? Zach Martin ain't moving to right guard. I mean, to left tackle. Yeah. Okay. He ain't moving to left tackle.
Okay.
So what other option do you have at this point? We already talked about Ball and how he's not going to be the guy to get out there and start.
He ain't on this list.
Jerry Jones said they drafted him, and their vision of him was he was a guy who could walk in and be a starter. Now, true or not, doesn't matter. He is a first rounder, and go ahead and throw him out there, man. Throw him out there and see what you got.
Okay. Your logic in what you're saying, I'm not saying, Danny, you're wrong, you're crazy. But we spoke on this show. Hey, man, what you going to do when games are missed by 77? I even asked somebody in the organization. I asked Joe Philbin, too. What are you going to do when Tyron misses games? Philbin didn't give me an answer, and the other person in the organization told me, Tyler Smith. So you want to get a guy some reps?
You would think so.
That's my whole thing. If you're sitting up here saying in the person time, hey, it's going to be Tyler Smith because you know what? We drafted him to be left tackle, so that's what he's going to be. If you were going to do that, this was in your mind, and why are we playing with Josh Ball and Matt? Well, let's go out here and not giving Smith any reps. Because that's all I'm saying.
That was the real plan, in my opinion. They was thinking that either Ball or Waletzko can come in there and be that swing tackle, and then when it blew up in their face, Waletzko had a little bit of injury issue, and Josh Ball, he just ain't that guy. They started scrambling, and it came to let's just throw the left tackle out there. But my question is, are they going to get him man some help? Because when they threw T. Still out there was no running back coming to chip. There was no tight end on that other side helping him out. They was like, you go out there and you handle your business, and he got handled. So are they going to help him out on that side?
Mr. Ferguson is going to be friends with Mr. Smith. It'll be the Smith-Ferguson blocking firm out here on the left
They
side.
better do something.
Listen, we keep hearing this. We're going to run the ball more. All right. Hopefully we're going to protect Tyler Smith on the edge, but I think it starts with, are we going to run the ball? This is the way you go. This is the way you can offset this. Because if you get the guy out there and we play the same game that we tried to play against Tampa last season, where we go out there and throw the ball 40 times, it's going to be a long day for Tyler Smith. And that doesn't only affect game 1, that affects his mindset for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
and that's not something you want to do to a young rookie. You don't want to do him like that, man. Especially if you don't feel he's prepared. then he probably don't feel he's prepared to go out there and be the starting left tackle if he hadn't gotten as many reps as he had hoped to get at that position.
And you're limping into the week one. It ain't like you're fully healthy out there.
So you got to protect him. You got to really focus on running the ball. And when you throw it, we just gonna put our hands together. We're gonna pray that he really can go out there and hold his own. Yeah. I'm not saying that he can't, but like you said, we haven't seen it. we haven't seen him against Michael. We haven't seen him against Bosa. We didn't see him against those guys. So right now it's the unknown.
Yeah, and this is where Kellen Moore, his genius is gonna be tested. He's gonna have to find ways to either get the ball out of Dak Prescott's hands extremely fast, run the football, and get the guy some help on that outside. Because like I said, man, Todd Bowles is gonna be dialing up on him, and it's gonna be tough.
I don't have an analogy, but I'm just trying to figure out that how do you talk about putting a guy out here at the most important position in the game, outside of quarterback on the offense, and you haven't practiced him all year long. I mean, Buddy Ryan once had the great line. He's like, ain't no East Carolinas on the schedule. Yeah. He played at Tulsa. He's not coming from the Big Ten. He coming from the SEC. You're not sitting around here saying, hey, man, I played against the Alabamas and the LSUs of the world. I mean, he played against the East Carolinas and the Tulanes and the SMUs, man, and had a high penalty rate there. I just think this is really putting the guy in a bad spot. And so if he looks bad on Monday Night Football or, has some holding penalties, people are going to point the finger. Oh, he sucks. He says, you know how fans are.
Yeah,
they just look at him.
Jump on you quick.
They're going to jump on him and they're going to look at the outcome, not realizing that he wasn't properly trained for the job. At the end of the day, you got to be trained for the job. All right, game happens. Did anybody ever say, hey, man, go play corner? Do you guys in the NFL?
Nah, I tell you, I'm going the other way with that.
Could you have played corner? In 2 weeks? Hey, man, 2 weeks ago, man, go play corner.
Nah. We could, but I would tell you this dude, Rob Ryan, to do something close to that, though. Rob Ryan to get you out there, come in on day of the game with a whole new 3 plays, and it's like, hey, you always run from this position, no matter what happens. And everybody's out there confused. Man. And it was horrible.
It was bad.
So I can only imagine playing left tackle and trying to get that type of stuff figured out.
All right, let's take another break. Our final break right here. We'll dive back into Tyler Smith. And one player who people are just ready to criticize. And I'm like, this is bigger than this one player, but everybody's jumping on this one player. We'll talk about that next, right here on the Players Lounge, brought to you by Tostitos, right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Want to show your Texas and team pride too? You can. By purchasing your own Stetson, you can look just like how the flag guys do on field at every home game. Stetson hats, the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys, and your favorite football team. Get yours today in the Stadium Pro Shop or at Stetson.com.
Your new apartment's big. Such a great deal.
It's okay.
Just okay? What's not to...
Right above the subway!
Well, I bet you don't even notice it after the...
That's my neighbor, Angus.
A deal that's just okay is not okay. Get a great deal with America's Best Network. Come into an AT&T store to find out how to get one of our popular smartphones for $0 down. Based on GWS One score September 2019.
Essilor is a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, helping fans see more and do more with our best vision solutions. Our lens technologies reveal a world more beautiful than you can imagine. For a limited time, get the Essilor Next Gen offer. When you buy the latest generation of Transitions lenses with select Essilor lenses, you can choose a second pair of clear lenses for free with qualifying frame purchases. Restrictions apply. Find a participating eye care professional by visiting EssilorUSA.com. Essilor. See more, do more.
So, you're shopping, and that's when you see it. Aisle 23. Dr. Pepper stacked from top to bottom as far as the eye can see. The phrase too good to be true comes to mind, yet there it is. A rich, delicious Dr. Pepper paradise. Wait, did that can of Dr. Pepper just open itself for you? They all are. As if to say, so nice to treat you. And even though it feels weird to talk to a can, you pick one up and say, it's so nice to be treated. Dr. Pepper, so nice to treat you.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Players Lounge, brought to you by Tostitos. Barry Church.
Yes, sir.
Danny McCray. Louis Scruggs. Cowboys come out with their cuts. So they don't have a quarterback. They let go of Will Grier. They let go of Cooper Rush.
Oh, Willie G.
Calvin Watkins is Dallas Morning News reporting that they'd like to bring Will Grier back on the practice squad. Oh, and Ben DiNucci cut too. The kicker, Brett Maher, cut. Jake McQuaid, the long snapper, cut. They really wanted to make sure they could keep defensive players. This was right now the team is loaded up with defensive players. And I'll say this. They spoke about it at camp that there were a lot of guys they didn't want to cut. Like, man, we got a lot of good players here. And so they were true to form. So we'll see exactly what they do with a couple positions. One of our favorites here on the Players Lounge is C.J. Goodwin, special teams guy. He was cut. So based on how they've done it in the past, a lot of wink, wink, nod, nods. Hey, bro, just sit for a minute. We'll get you. Take a day off tomorrow. You know, go hang out with the family. Go do whatever you want to do. Just take a day off. Go to the spa on us. And so we'll see what they do. I'm eager to hear Mike McCarthy in his press conference to talk about the cuts, how they're going to go about making the who's going to be the backup quarterback, and are they going to keep 3 quarterbacks active, and will they put Will Grier on the roster? Because if Will Grier goes to practice squad, DiNucci's done. Yeah,
and I think he had a better preseason than he had last year.
Right, but nobody's keeping 2 quarterbacks on a practice squad. So this is going to be interesting, the roster manipulation there, and then of course the conversation about what they do at left tackle. At this point in time, everything you're hearing, we're just waiting an official announcement from the head coach that Tyler Smith is going to be their left tackle for the first game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he's been dealing with a high ankle sprain. I've never had a high ankle sprain. Have you gentlemen had one when you played?
Yeah.
Multiple.
Yeah.
I've had 2 high ankle sprains at the same time, and it's difficult to play on. It's difficult. I ended up getting a shot in each one of them, and it got so bad that Britt Brown had to tell Coach Garrett that he's not playing today.
Really?
It's like what happens right before you break the ankle.
Yeah.
So it's not anything light. So hopefully it's a really, really mild one where they say, hey man, 2 weeks you'll be able to get back in there. But that also adds on to the fact that if he has to wait another 8 days before he can really get in there and get some reps, then he's less prepared than he is at this point. So hopefully he's able to get out there this week, get some real practice reps, some full padded practice reps at left tackle where they say, hey Mike, we need you to do something for the team. Yeah. Go out here and rush on this guy one-on-one.
He's going to need him because, I mean, like you said, if he's only got a week, maybe even, to prepare for Tampa Bay and all that, where you going to get them reps at? I mean, it ain't like he's a veteran that's been playing the game for 8 years and he can flip a switch like that and be ready to go inside of an NFL regular season game. But this is a rookie who not only did he take all of his reps at the left guard, but he didn't get any at left tackle during camp. So it's hard to flip a switch. Not many guys can just flip a switch and be like, all right, I'm ready to go. It's going to take some practice and some building up, especially if you're a rookie. And then you got Tampa Bay coming to town?
It's Tampa Bay favored by 1.5, by the way.
I'm going to just pray for Tyler Smith, bro, because I want him to do well. I want to do well. I was wrong about Terrence Steele when he coming into his second year last year because what we had seen when he first got here. So I was wrong about that one. He came out, he played well at right tackle, moved him over to left, not so much, but I think right tackle is his position to where I think that's where he plays the best. So hopefully Tyler Smith comes out and surprises us all. Even without the reps, even with the high ankle sprain and not getting as much preparation as we think that he should, and hopefully he comes out and he has a good performance. Because if not, we know how that game's going to go. Yeah.
So I have people who call me during the week to talk about Cowboys on these national radio shows, and I ended up doing one on Sirius XM over on Sunday. And this host, dude named Carrington, was all on Zeke. He's not what he used to be. He's not worth the contract. And they think he's going to have a bounce back. He's all about Zeke. And I said, number one, he'll never live up to the contract because you changed out the coach who was a running coach for a guy who wants to pass. So we always look at the player, but management didn't do the player any favors when they decided to go, hey, here's a pass-happy coach who never really had a big-time running back and a pass-happy coordinator. And then I said, have you noticed that there's an issue with this offensive line? Yeah, I don't know if Jim Brown could get 1,000 yards behind this line right now because they've never played a preseason game together. I was like, so this is the National Football League. So if you want to put all of this on the player and not think about that this is a team, I just don't know if that's where I would go with Ezekiel Elliott. I said, is he going to be Zeke he was his first 1 or 2 years in the league? I said, I don't expect that. But if he plays a full 16 games and the offensive line can figure out how to block, I can see 1,200 yards. That's not in a 17-game schedule. 1,200 yards for Ezekiel Elliott would not be crazy. The problem also is right now facing the Cowboys, and we talked about this. I'm doubling CeeDee Lamb from a defensive coordinator. I'm stacking the box. Hey, Schultz, take your 7 yards or 6 yards on the pass.
Tolbert, Noah Brown,
Houston, Noah Brown. Show me.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's interesting, and right now, and this is just me, and I don't know what Mike McCarthy ended up planning, but I'm looking at Dan Quinn. Hey, bro, I need you to carry load.
Oh, wow. Why you think they keeping all these defensive players?
Yeah,
they know.
have to be strong.
They know.
We gonna have to slug some game. We need a 19-16 dub.
Hey, listen. Hey, don't get it confused, and don't forget the plays that were made by the defense last year were a huge part of why this team was successful and got to the playoffs. The amount of turnovers that you get, the amount of 3-and-outs that you get, the amount of times that you can give the ball back to your offense, that was a huge part of why we were able to play as well as we did last year when we did and make the playoffs.
Can I add this as well? Dan Quinn, when you save us, hey, Kevontae Turpin, you need to take something back.
Oh, he's going to have to. At least get this offense in good field position.
If you're not taking it back, can you get it to the 45-yard? I mean, what can you do for us? I mean, they're going to have to win some football games ugly right now. Yep. And you're going to need to try to keep the defense off the field, so you want to run the ball. But at the same time, you're really going to need this defense to bring some serious pressure on Tom Brady up the middle. I expect to see Micah Parsons trying to shoot up the A gap and get after there, because we know Tom doesn't like pressure up the middle. So. I mean, the defense is going to have to. You think about it. You got Tampa Bay, Cincinnati out of the gate right now. You got a left tackle, so you're going to have to get the ball out quick and throw it. So it's a challenge. And this is Mike McCarthy's opportunity to really show us how good a football coach he is.
Yeah, it's a pressure-packed season for everybody. I'm about to say that. I mean, it's going to be a pressure-packed season, man. So we'll see how they come out of this.
And you say his last season, and look, that could be the case.
No, I said it could be his last chance. Depending on how it goes, yes.
No, and the thing, when I do these interviews, I keep saying to people, how does it end? Is it a bad year because the offense just can't get going, and Tyron Smith doesn't get made? How does it end? I think that's when you talk about people getting let go, it's always the circumstances. So, that person's going to get fired because you don't know. And I know this. I kept counting Jason Garrett out 3 times. And them 3 times, man, oh, here he is. He's back. And Jerry would look at, he didn't have and so I don't know. I just think that for anybody that's trying to just say Mike McCarthy's not going to be back, you got to let me know how this thing ends, because we don't know. We truly don't know. If Philly wins a division, and by the way, I picked Philly to win the division. If they end up being a wild card, they make it to the NFC Championship game, and they've gone through it with all the injuries and figured out a way to get better at the end, then it's going to be hard for Jerry to say, I don't want you back.
That's a huge if, though.
But there's a whole lot of ifs.
Yeah.
And we just watched. I mean, after 3 8-8 seasons, and dude got to come back. Even at the end, it's not like they just fired Jason at the end here. It took him a while.
That's a whole different relationship. Yeah. The relationship between Jerry and Jason Garrett I think is a little different. Actually, a lot different than the relationship.
He was the
between
OC
Mike McCarthy.
here forever.
Played here.
It was family. They called it. They said it was family.
Yeah,
it was family. But
that's different.
And once again, circumstance. It's fluid. As Jacques Taylor always said, sports is fluid.
It's fluid. We'll see.
It's fluid. So we'll see just how fluid all of this goes here. So I just too many times when I thought a guy would get gone, it hadn't happened. Yeah. And I'm not just talking about the Cowboys in sports, just covering sports in general. A lot of times I think somebody's going to be doesn't happen.
Well, McCarthy, if you are going down, at least go down swinging and calling your own plays, man. I'm about to say, man, if you see the ship is going down, pull out your playbook, man.
And they say some in Puerto Rico. I want to see all of it. Draw it up in the dirt.
Go down swinging if it is what it is.
So this is on Coach McCarthy and his staff. They've got work to do. There's some challenging opportunities that they've got in front of them. We'll see what they get done. Players Lounge is going to be here all year long to cover it. Now, the day after Labor Day, we're going to go Monday through Friday. You know?
Special guests.
Every day. So starting Tuesday, after the Monday. Because Danny won't be here. Danny's got stuff going on.
I'll be on Wednesday.
This is Danny's last. Get this part in with the wife and family before everything get rolling. So
it's the only vacation of the year, just so you know.
And until another show happens to call. Hey man, we really liked you in those other 2 shows. Can we get you on?
He's on assignment, right? He's on assignment, man.
If the money is calling, I am going.
You and Kiki doing the Great Race or the whatever.
Hey man, you gonna pay me? I'm gonna do it. What you want me to do?
I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad. I just wish I could be in a position somebody called. Don't want me to do nothing. So all good, man. All good for you. Danny McCray, Barry Church, Newey Scruggs, Chris Beam, Will Boykins, everybody who's always a part of making the Players Lounge fantastic. We appreciate it. Remember, you can find us wherever you find your podcast. Spotify, we're over there. Apple, wherever you go, man. Check us out. Give us a rate, follow, review, all that good stuff. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you next time right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.